Today's game is a real treat. Today we're playing Diablo II, Lord of Destruction, the expansion set. The original Diablo II was released 20 years ago in the year 2000, the expansion 1 year later, and we're going to create a new character. There are 7 characters to choose from, and this one looks a bit like the guy from God of War. It's an action role-playing hack and slash game, and it's a top-down isometric 2.5D game. The pre-rendering is pretty darn amazing for 20 years ago. I'm going to choose the God of War character. I can't actually remember. I think it's Kratos or something, isn't it? Okay, so basically this game picks up from where the first one leaves off. At the end of the first game, the hero kills Diablo, the Lord of Destruction, and after killing the demon, the hero tries to contain the demon's spirit within his own body, and that doesn't go very well for the hero, because the hero then becomes corrupted by the demon's spirit, and this causes demons to enter the world around him and wreak havoc. A band of adventurers, that's us, pass through this rogue encampment, and as we do so we hear stories about the destruction, and we attempt to find out the cause of the evil, starting with this corrupted Dark Wanderer from the first game. The game is split over 4 different chapters, and as they develop you're treated to some absolutely wonderful CG cutscenes, which were a real treat, especially at the time, and they've actually aged pretty darn well, I've got to say. This game was a huge commercial success, but before I talk about that, I'm going to speed up the frame, and I'm going to explain what's really cool about this. Each map is procedurally generated. No 2 playthroughs are the same, but I have just found the Den of Evil, so let's go inside and let's clear it all out. So I'm going to take out the Gargantuan Beast. This takes a little while, he's quite tough. And I'm about to speed up the video because it took me over 10 minutes to clear this out. This is not a small game at all. This is a huge top-down hack and slash RPG. It takes a long time to play. But it's really great fun, and I think part of the reason it's so replayable is that procedural map generation that I mentioned before. This actually got a world record for being the highest sales ever for a PC game at the time. I'm not sure if it's changed since, but I believe it was over 2 million units sold in the first 1.5 months. It was something crazy like that. I actually found out about this game in Germany. A lot of friends that I had in Germany were playing it, and they wanted help translating words like ethereal and magic spell and things like potion buffs, which of course I had no clue what that was in English, let alone in German. But I'm about to clear out the dungeon. The heavens have opened, you've killed all the monsters. So I'll go back to the camp and I'll get a reward for that. Or will I? The music in this is pretty darn amazing. The graphics for the time were by no means revolutionary. Every other major company was doing stuff with 3D, and this is kind of like a top-down 2.5D with lots of pre-rendering going on. But I think it has a really certain charm which works perfectly with this genre of game. And with Diablo 3 they did try upscaling the render a bit, but it just didn't have the same charm to it, I feel. But that's entirely subjective. It's actually really hard to get this working nowadays. I had to use my original CD key from the copy I bought 17 years ago, and I had to go through a few loopholes on the Blizzard website. Another Blizzard game you might know from growing up is the 3 Vikings on the Sega Mega Drive, which was another amazing game. It was a puzzle game where 3 Vikings have to navigate through different mazes. But that's really expensive and hard to find, and of course I don't have it. So, we're back at the encampment. What is my reward?
The den of evil. You've earned my trust, and may yet restore my faith in humanity.
Nothing. Play on.